Hey everyone, Tony George, DocSports.com. Week 18 opening line report. We're doing this in a live format, and we're going to go down the rotation board today here. A very dangerous week in the NFL. The last week of the week, teams playing for something, teams playing for nothing, teams that have thrown it in, teams that are in desperation mode. Some players playing for their job, some coaches coaching for their job, perhaps. All kinds of different storylines on each and every game this particular weekend. So it's one of those weekends we're going to go very low volume, probably be a total involved, maybe one side play, might be doing some teasers with some big dogs. I've looked at some of the lines, not every single one of them. We've been in college basketball mode the last couple of days, getting ready for a big day here on Tuesday and Wednesday. Obviously, conference action has opened up in these particular conferences. So we've been knee deep in that. We'll get to this. I know it's going to be low volume. We put out our plays on Thursday. COVID is still a major issue. This, that, and the other. KC Nax, well, hey, man, thanks for stopping by. There you go. Happy New Year to you. So we're going to go down these in order of the rotation board. So let's just kind of comment on each game as we go versus all over the board. Just don't start asking me about Sunday late games when we're still on the early games. There's 2 games on Saturday and then the rest on Sunday, no Monday nighter. And bear in mind when we're talking about these are just initial reactions and thoughts and candid and raw comments. You know, you might bring up something about next week. But at the end of the day, we're just doing these initial reactions to these. And so we're going to pull up the live odds here, see what's up. Okay, I got some other things here we're going to read out as well. I'm going to be going back and forth, so it's going to be a little lethargical here. So the first game on the board here, let's take a look at it. There we go. Dallas and Philadelphia. Philadelphia's been running the ball good. Dallas look-ahead line was 3.5 and 44.5, and now it is Dallas -7 on the road. And the total jumped down to 42.5. One thing I'll say about Philadelphia, they've done good at running the ball, figuring out how to use Jalen Hurts better, and utilizing his skill set, and it's made them a very dangerous team from that perspective. And that seems like an awful lot of points to me out of the gate. So one of those scenarios where I could only lean the underdog. You know, Dallas, looked like an offensive juggernaut 2 weeks ago against Washington, who I thought had a better defense, playing better defense anyway than what Arizona had been doing lately. And man, they couldn't get anything going. And now they're laying a full touchdown on the road against a team that's kind of got it going. Seems like an awful lot to me from Philly. And staying away from the game. Talk of starters sitting out. Yeah, well, you got a lot of starters sitting out. I would only use Philly in a teaser there. I wouldn't use Dallas, since you're asking. I don't know who's all sitting out. You've got load management all over the place this week in the NFL. Who's playing, who's not playing, who's in and doesn't care, like Green Bay, for instance. And on Tuesday here, we don't know exactly what the bottom line is going to be. Everything that we're talking about is purely speculation right now before we hit Sunday, except with games that mean something. The Steelers have to win. They need some help. Okay. Raiders, Chargers, win and you're in type scenario. Those games, if anybody's available to play, they're going to play. These other ones you don't know. Kansas City, Denver. Here's an interesting line swing. Kansas City off a loss has scored 3 points. My boys right there scored 3 points in the second half against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati's a team you never know what you're getting. Now, Kansas City ends up with home field throughout and a number 1 seed if Tennessee loses to Houston, which they're not. Tennessee was my top play last week, 6-unit top play. They're because people forgot about them. But Kansas City -3, 43.5. Now -10, 44. So if you like Denver, and Denver plays defense, I know they got Drew Lock at quarterback. This is in Denver. Laying 10 in Denver on the road in a must-win scenario, against a team that doesn't give a rat's ass, that may or may not want to show up here, it's just a dangerous proposition. And that's a Saturday game. Do I think Kansas City wins? Yeah, I do. Do I want to lay 10 with them on the road? And let's say Kansas City gets way up. Hey, what are the chances of them up 17 with 4 minutes left, or up 16 with 4 or 5 minutes left, pulling starters and give up a cheap one, or put in the backup quarterback and all their backup receivers? He throws a pick 6. I mean, the backdoor covers there. Bellevue, Nebraska. Rob Heather, home of Sac Air Force Base. Yes, very familiar with Bellevue. Isn't that where South Roads Mall was at? They had an A&W root beer drive-in right down the street from that. My mom used to take me there. I'm from Auburn originally. She should drive up and go shopping. My mom would take me along. I think it was South Roads Mall there in Bellevue, if I'm not mistaken. I think Scott Spreitzer from DocSports.com went to Bellevue. Was it Bellevue West High School? They have a Bellevue something high school there. That's where he went to school. He grew up in Omaha. Is Baker as bad as he looked last night? Yeah, he's hurt. Baker Mayfield's hurt. You can tell. You got torn. You ever have a torn labrum in your shoulder? I've got a scar from here to here from having a torn labrum in college playing ball. Guess what? Hurts. I know it's his non-throwing arm, but something was off there. The coaching was horrible last night for them. First time catching me live. Thanks for tuning in, Alex. Great name, Alex. It's my son's name, Alex. Key numbers to look for in a teaser with sides or fall numbers 3, 6, 7, 10, 13. You want to get through them or over them. 42, 46 in totals, those numbers. I got a video on betting NFL teasers on this YouTube page, Casey Nax. Watch it. It's in the Betting 101 section. Tells you all about those key numbers and how to bet them. Fort Dodge, Iowa. Stayed there numerous times in Fort Dodge, Iowa, way back in the 90s. Had a traveling sales job. Used to go up there. I ended up in Fort Dodge, Iowa. I can't remember the name of the plant. Wow. Cold, snowy, middle of nowhere. Men are men and sheep are nervous. All right. Docs play on Sunday, Marlin. I don't know. There's 12 of us there. I'm not Docs. I'm Tony George. But if you had Tennessee with me, you were happy. The other rest of the cards stunk. Had the over in the Dallas game, and Colts blew my teaser when I had Green Bay in there. But the 6-unit hit. Antoine. Well, thanks for jumping in. Let's get to the next game here. We've talked about 2 of them. Detroit, Green Bay. Detroit opened up 11, 46.5, and now is -2 and 42.5. Green Bay doesn't need it. They've locked up the division, home field. Why would you put Rodgers, Adams, Jones, Dillon? Why would you play any of them? Why would you play in Detroit? Goff isn't going to play with that knee. I'd still take Green Bay. Jordan Love? Is that his name? He's better than anybody better than Boyle. Give me a break. Chicago, Minnesota. Here's a battle of uglies. Look ahead line was -6 Minnesota at home and 45, and now it's -2.5, 44.5. I think I wouldn't be surprised if both these coaches are out of a job on Monday morning. I could only lead Minnesota there. I could only lean Minnesota. I mean, what? How do I decide which is a 6, 7 unit or 8 unit play? I try and pick the best bet on the board every week, both in college and the NFL. The one that has the strongest probability. I have a probability scale based on power numbers, all kinds of different factors and algorithms and sabermetrics type things. And there's usually one or two that are always circled, and we handicap those games deep. We handicap them all deep, but we really take a look at those and just find, and then also public perception this late in the season, like Tennessee this last week was very undervalued in the NFL. Just very undervalued. This is a team that's a top seed in the AFC laying 3 against a team that, had won 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 6. Don't quote me, Miami. But 3 of those wins were against New York teams, and one of them was against Houston. Okay. You're talking about the team that's playing for the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. They're going to bring their A game. Vrabel's a good coach. It's a good football team. You discount Tennessee, but that's kind of how there's certain ones that have bigger overlays against the spread than other ones do. And then, you handicap them deeper into that, injuries, the tendencies, and division play, all kinds of different things. But yeah. Thanks, Bob, for the comment. I appreciate it. Let's get to the next one. New England at Miami. Let's go ahead and see what's on the line here. I got another screen here. So we'll go through some of these. Titans clinch number 1 seed with a win over Houston. Losses by KC, Cincinnati, and New England, or lost by KC, Cincinnati, and a Buffalo win. Chiefs get the number 1 seed with a win versus Denver, and Tennessee lost to Houston. Kansas City's not going to be the number 1 seed. So I'm looking Patriots in this game clinch the AFC East with win. Let's talk about this Miami New England game. Clinch the AFC East with a win versus Miami and a Buffalo loss to the Jets. Could be number 1 seed with a win and losses by Buffalo, Tennessee, and KC. So Patriots have something to play for. They're going to show up in this game. Miami was exposed last week against Tennessee. It was my top play. I could only lean Patriots in this game. And the number, a lot of value lost. -2.5 and 39 on the look ahead. -6.5 and 40. Now, if your offense struggled against Tennessee, and I am taking into account it was a driving rainstorm, but if you struggled against Tennessee's defense, you're going to struggle against New England's defense. Miami be lucky to score 10 points in that game. So 24-10 New England, under, laid 6.5. I'll tell you what, you want a teaser bet? There's your teaser bet, New England. Let's see if we got any comments on that because I'm rolling these out. Yeah, Southwards Mall, South Roads Mall. Yeah. What's up in the Cornhuskers next year? Well, Rob, don't know. They need to get a quarterback in the transfer portal. Caleb Williams is out there. Let's get through recruiting and let's get through the transfer portal. Then we can give an informed discussion on where Nebraska is going to be next year. If they're not in a bowl game, Scott Frost is gone and they're going to clean house in the coaching. They got a good offensive coordinator from Pitt coming in. They've got some different coaching, some new special teams coach. A lot of things going on. Let's get through this transfer portal. Let's get through the spring game. Then we'll talk about Nebraska. Mark, Tony, on your team, staff, do you have designated person per sport that you consult with to decide your place? Yes, I do. I have one in every sport. I don't have one in the NBA. I do it myself. Yeah. South Carolina might look pretty decent next year. We're trying to stick to the theme of the NFL opening line report. They look good in the bowl game, but then again, it was Mac Brown coaching, and Mac Brown couldn't win a big game if he had his gun to his head. Raiders for real? No. Teaser with Las Vegas and New England, yeah. I'd tease them up. I don't think they're going to win that game, but I'd tease them up. Should be tight. Chargers, better quarterback, better defense, better coach. I know it's at SoFi, which is not necessarily a home field advantage, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get to the next one. Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Indianapolis 15.5, total 44. I want nothing to do with that game. I want nothing to do with 15.5. But let's see what the Colts got going on. Clinch wild card with a win versus Jacksonville. It's going to happen. Okay? I'm just not laying it. And they look like dog piss last week. The Raiders had scored only 17 points in one out of their last 6 games. They'd only exceeded 17 points one time. On the road against the Colts, who needed it, and they laid an egg. Unbelievable. Jets, Buffalo minus 17. Look ahead, 45, and now 17, 43.5. Jets have a tendency to give people ball games. What's your motivation going to be after heading Tampa Bay by the short and curlies and let them off the hook? Buffalo, win, you're in. I mean, they're going to show up. When they get, say they're up 17 or 20 last quarter, you pull everybody because you got to play in a wild card the next week. Get a backdoor cover. That Wilson running around doing crazy stuff, quarterback for Jets. I'd only take the Jets, honestly. All right. I wouldn't even mess with the teaser now because the teaser still got you over 11. Carolina, Tampa Bay, minus 16.5. 43 was look ahead. Now minus 8. 41.5. Carolina's just a bad football team. Tampa Bay, they're beat up. They are beat up. They're going to do just enough to win in this game. They're beat up. Evans beat up. Brown's gone. Antonio Brown, okay, complete lunatic. Lost his mind. Got pissed off about his incentives. My odds just refreshed. Hang on. Make sure nothing changed. All kinds of different things going on there. I mean, he quit on every team he's ever played for. His best run was at Pittsburgh with Roethlisberger. That hurts him. He was getting 43% of the targets, especially with Godwin out. I don't know, man. Nothing comes easy. Week 18. Tennessee, Houston, Tennessee minus 10. 10.5, 43. Tennessee in a teaser. They're going to clinch home field and the number 1 seed with a win. They will be ready. Houston, comedy of errors. Washington, New York Giants. Washington minus 4. 41 was a look ahead. Now minus 7. 38.5. Washington is your top teaser play of the week as one team in a teaser scenario. Okay. Securo, I'm not going to be talking college football. I thought it was a great win by South Carolina over North Carolina. But again, it was Mac Brown in a big game. Thoughts on Green Bay minus 2. The line reflects Rodgers being out, but says he's playing. I saw that. I would lay the 2 even without Rodgers playing because Jordan Love's better quarterback than Boyle. You're not going to see Goff on the field, and you might see Rodgers for a half. just to put up a 24-0 spot. Cowboys a fraud? No, they're not a fraud. No. But they're inconsistent and they're not well coached. And that's a problem. They're going to have their hands full at Philly this week. We already talked about that. You're coming in here late. Bengals line this week. We're getting to it. Prop on Gronk receptions. Probably a lot. People keep asking me about props, player props. Guys, between this opening line report, handicapping every game, taking care of hundreds of clients weekly, doing the 8-8 at Red Rock Sportsbook, handicapping the games, getting premium plays done, write-ups done, plays posted, and doing NBA, college basketball, now golf, NASCAR right around the corner, all the other sports that I handicap. I don't do player props. I don't have time for it. It distracts me from trying to be good at what I do. So I don't do player props. I may hire a guy to do solely player props next year because they're becoming so popular on these apps that are legal in more and more states. So I'm looking into that for 2022 NFL. Okay, let's get to the next game. New Orleans and Atlanta. And by the way, the Giants just sucked. You see Glennon's numbers last week? Did you see Glennon's numbers? Look at the box score for the Giants games last week. How that guy's even got a job in the NFL is dumbfounding to me. Dumbfounding. Joe Judge might be on his way out already. I don't know. 38.5 in that game might be worth an under. That Kansas City game, going back to that Kansas City Denver game, might be worth an under too. Just FYI. New Orleans, Atlanta. New Orleans minus 4.5, 40. Look ahead was 3.5, 42. Let's take a look at any scenarios for this game that I need to worry about. And we are going to Saints can clinch a wild card with a win versus Atlanta and a San Francisco loss to the Rams. Saints are going to bring it. They're going to bring it. Can they? I don't know. They're on the road. It's in a dome. I could only lean New Orleans. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Ravens minus 6.5, 42. And now it's 5.5, 42. Okay, let's get back down to that one. Steelers can clinch a wild card with win versus they beat Cleveland. Now they need to beat Baltimore and have an Indianapolis loss to Jacksonville. Yeah. I'm not interested in this game. What are your guys' thoughts? What do you think? Caleb, Dan, who? Tony, people disagree with me, and you may as well, but as someone who knows the quarterback position and played it at a high level, Dan doesn't have the accuracy, to consistently win big games. Dan? What am I missing here? Caleb, who is Dan? Dak. Well, that's an arguable point. He certainly has the weapons to do it. He's surrounded by weapons. And I know they lost Gallup to an ACL tear, which hurt them in depth at the wide receiver position. Dallas gets past the second round. I'll be surprised. Put it that way. Just too many good teams in the NFC. Green Bay's going to win that. Green Bay's going to the Super Bowl. Sorry, not Tom Brady. You're too beat up. You're too inconsistent in too many areas. Green Bay's just good everywhere. Pathetic offense for the Steelers. Can't back them. I can't back them either. I take the under in that game. Since we're talking about it now, playoffs are close to setting. Super Bowl favorites put a future bet on. Yeah, Green Bay. I'm not saying Kansas City for futures bet yet. I don't know. I'm still working on that. Kansas City's going to be in the hunt. Kansas City's going to be in the AFC Championship. Against two, I'm not for sure, but there's some good teams there. Kansas City's beatable. You found out last week they're beatable. You know, get a lot of pressure on Mahomes. He doesn't do well. Or they make him stay in the pocket. He doesn't do well. Still throw some errant passes. Make some bad decisions. Yeah. Yeah. If I had to do anything in the Ravens and Pittsburgh game, I'd take the under. Okay, let's get to the next one here, and then we can follow back up. Cleveland, Cincinnati. Cleveland, look-ahead line was 1.5, 46. And Cleveland is -3, 43. Bengals clinched number 1 seed with the win versus Cleveland and losses by Tennessee, KC, New England, or losses by Tennessee, KC, and Buffalo win. Browns are out of it. I could only win Bengals there. I can only win Bengals. Taylor's he's not going to bench anybody. They want their full complement of guys continuing to create chemistry. Seattle, Arizona. Arizona, look ahead, was 5, 46.5, -6.5, 48 now. Arizona is an awesome road team. They suck at home. I'm not laying 6.5 for them at home against Russell Wilson. And this could be Pete Carroll's last game as head coach. Could be Russell Wilson's last game as quarterback there. I expect a battle. I expect that to be a hell of a football game. Seattle is not going to lay down. They're not going to lay down. They can, and Cardinals can win the NFC West with a win and a Rams loss. Well, it's a lot easier to outcoach McCarthy at Dallas than it is to outcoach Pete Carroll up in Seattle. I can only take the points there. Okay, let's get to the next one. San Francisco and the LA Rams. LA Rams, look ahead, 6.5, 44.5. And now it's 4.5, 44.5. Let's look at this one. All the things that are tied up. 49ers can clinch a wild card with a win or a New Orleans loss. Rams can clinch the division with a win or an Arizona loss versus Seattle. They own a head-to-head tiebreaker versus the Bucs. Okay. So both teams are going to be bringing it in this 49ers and Rams game. I don't know the health of Garoppolo. I'm not going to trust Trey Lance versus Stafford at home. That's stay away game. That is a stay away game if I've ever seen one. There's no value in that line, especially not knowing the 49ers quarterback position right now. Finally, the Los Angeles Chargers in Las Vegas. They're -3, 49.5. Look ahead was -2.5, 47.5. Win and you're in. What do you boys think? Talk about it. Raiders, Chargers, who you got? -3, 44.5. What's your thoughts? Washington and Patriots and a teaser, yes. Okay, let me go up here. Okay. Arizona, Seattle can't decide. We just talked about that. Okay, let me go up here and Address your comments. Rams will challenge them. Yeah. Thanks, Matt Williamson. Appreciate you tuning in. Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. Got it plus 650. Mike Angel. Yeah, hello. Well, an Angel just touched you on the shoulder because that's a damn good bet. They'd be favored against anybody in the AFC, including Kansas City. I'd take the over if they played Kansas City. Be about 52, 53. Booyah! Von Miller starting to adjust. Yeah. Arizona, Seattle can't decide. I can only take Seattle. Like KC to win it, but they have been playing well at right time outside of this Sunday's letdown. Yeah, they just didn't have a good game Sunday. I think Baltimore handles them. Oh, Ricky. Baltimore handles them by 8-10. Big Ben is atrocious. 40-10. Yeah, 100. He hasn't had over 160 yards passing in a month. What are you going to do against Baltimore when they got to have it? Come on. All right. They get it done. Who's better quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger or Peyton Manning? Coin flip. Coin flip. Coin flip. I've seen both players do things that most mortal men can't. That's coin flip. Probably Manning by a hair, by a hair. And we're talking top 6 quarterbacks of all time in the NFL when you're asking me to choose between them. What do you think the spread would be in Rams versus Green Bay NFC Championship? Anywhere between 4.5 and 6, total around 49. Washington Patriots in a teaser, book it. There you go. Don't be surprised Seattle wins straight up. I wouldn't be surprised, especially the way Arizona plays at home. They suck. Okay, how much does COVID determine who wins the Super Bowl? Tough year for futures. Yeah, it is. COVID is affecting everything. It's going to affect everything now. I mean, between now and then, I don't know what the hell's going to happen. It's insane right now. Chargers, yes. Chargers don't like calling a big game. I don't either. I know Baker is a little hurt, but he is garbage. That's why we know Beckham didn't do anything in Cleveland. Yeah. Is Baker Mayfield a starting quarterback in the NFL? Yeah. Is he a starting quarterback for the Browns? Probably not. He's got too many good players around him and a stellar running game to be performing like that. And the coaching last night was atrocious. Why, when you were down 19-14 in the fourth quarter with your offense on the field, Chubb was on the sideline wearing a warm-up jacket? Never got in that series. What are you doing? You were coach of the year last year, dude. Stefanski, get your head out of your rear end. You can't win that game without running it right down their throat. Stupid. And so you're putting the game on Baker Mayfield's shoulders when you have one of the best running backs in the NFL against one of the worst teams to stop in the run in the NFL that's sacking your quarterback every other play, and Nick Chubb is on the sideline? What are you doing? Do you have a brain in your head? My God, run the damn ball. Okay. Chargers, yeah. Herbert's top 6-7 quarterback in the NFL. Carr, no. Let down spot after beating Indy? Yes. Biggest game for the city of Vegas. Waller will be back. Raiders by 3. R8R for life. Well, I disagree with you. Under Saints and Falcons, very well can see that. Miss Danica, thanks for tuning in. I can only go Chargers. Everybody healthy. Very dangerous team. They outplay KC in both their matchup. Unload on the Chargers. Brian, that's an irresponsible statement. I do like the Chargers. You don't unload in a game where it's win or you're in the NFL, especially with a team on the road. Handicapping 101. If you like the bet your normal wager on it, move on to the next one. Okay. Chargers trend over, Raiders trend under. I'll stay away from the total. I agree. How do these coaches keep their jobs after games like, I don't know. Yeah, worst rushing defense, you throw the ball 75% of the time with a quarterback that's injured, that's playing injured. with an offensive line that couldn't stop Grandma at Costco with a shopping cart from rushing that passer and getting him on his ass last night. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I know it was Big Ben's last game and at home, and it's a big emotional thing. Any of us that are pure NFL fans, old school guys, I'm old school. I'm in my 50s now. Been doing this 30 years. Ben Roethlisberger has been part of my handicap for 18 years. And before that, I was capping him at Miami of Ohio. Thought he was a great quarterback in college. I've been capping this guy 22 years. Yeah, I'm going to miss him. Yeah, it's emotional. You know? But you threw for 123 yards, you won a game. Unbelievable. Jacksonville can upset the Colts. No, they can't. Do I want to lay 15 with the Colts? No. Okay, Chubb stiff arms guys look. Yeah. Need you and Indian Cowboy back for a playoff show. The best duo. Thanks, Matt. I actually might do one with Scott Spreitzer. I'll see what IC's up to. By the way, IC's a great guy. Great guy. Georgia money line. Yeah, Jaguars. I agree with you, Danica. No. Georgia money line. You know what? I'm taking a look at that now. I don't know what to do with the national title game yet. I'm still looking at it. It's trending over, and been a lot of money on Alabama. The line hadn't moved that much, so it's interesting. I'll know more about that. I'm working that game today and making a few phone calls. I like how I see the Chargers outplay KC, playing the Raiders. Did Houston just blow out the Chargers? Don't compare a team to team. No, I don't. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. You know, in big games in the NFL, and this is like a playoff game. I came through this business, you know, back in the started in 92, in the late 90s, early 2000s. I got hooked up with a guy by the name of Mike Lee, he passed away in 2006. Was a legendary handicapper out here, wrote a couple of books there at the Gambler's Bookstore, especially the one on Major League Baseball. But he took me under his wing after I won a contest out here and told me some of the things I was doing right and told me some of the things I was doing wrong and told me some things about this business that still ring true today in terms of the business side of things and people to be hanging around with and people not. And when it comes to late season in the NFL and comes into the playoffs, take the points out of it and bet the best team. Now, in those times, you know, we're not talking about double-digit favorites. We're talking about games that you kind of go, like the Chargers and Raiders game. And he said, always have the best quarterback on your side, especially if you're on the road. The best advice you're going to get all day long. It was given to me 15 years ago. So can the Raiders beat them? Yeah, they can beat them. But if you just look at it for what it is, coaching, quarterback, defense, talent at skill positions. Okay, Eckert and Jacobs, coin flip, both good. But who's more effective with their quarterback, especially out of the backfield throwing the ball? Just kind of look at it like that. That's what I'm saying. LSU +7. Oh, the game tonight? I handicapped and put out that game over a week ago, and the line was a lot different. Be careful with that game tonight. Now that the line's like that. Yeah, Bengals line is moving. Let's get a live take on that one more time here before we get out of here. Yeah, Cleveland -1.5 is up to Bengals -3. I'd lay it. I think I had mentioned earlier Cleveland. I may have said Cleveland was -3, but at the end of the day here, Cincinnati's the only way to look in that game. What are you going to get out of Cleveland after that performance last night? On a short week. Mayfield's just not – they'd be better off putting Case Keenum in there, honestly, and just rest and Baker, be done with it. Because he just can't throw it right. And he wasn't a prolific passer to begin with. I mean, he's a starter in the NFL. Baker Mayfield has many more qualities than you think he does. But at the end of the day, I think they'd be better off with Keenum in that game and just running the damn ball. Thanks, man, for all your free picks. You helped me out when I was stuck on deciding one. Okay, thanks. You bet, Milby. After watching Georgia quarterback last week, he threw better and more accurate ball. It's hard to bet against the Saban team. However, I think Georgia quarterback is better. Georgia quarterback is not better. Bryce Young won the Heisman. He bailed them out against Auburn. Cincinnati had a good defense. They put pressure on them. I think that Georgia will take a page out of Cincinnati's playbook and say, man, all you got to do is make him uncomfortable and he doesn't throw it well. Problem is you got to stop Robinson. So I think it might be lower scoring than anything this time around, just between me and you and the fence post. They'll figure out how not to have Alabama put up 40 on them. They'll make it a ball game. So I think the under might be in play. I think Mayfield is a sober Johnny Manziel. Nice. Like it. Like where your head's at. There you go. Do you know anywhere that has 8.2 team teasers? And no, but a lot of places have 10.3 team teasers. You get a 7. You got to lay minus 140 anymore to get 7.2 team, or I do 6.2 team teasers. The reason I do that's the average margin of victory in the NFL is 5.7 points, and they're giving me 6. Come on. But you're going to have stuff that happens like last week. I had the Colts, and they just took a crap right down their leg against a team that they were much better than. And that happens all the time in the NFL. Much better teams lose games to inferior teams. Cincinnati, everybody's all hot and bothered about right now, got beat by the Jets after they smoked Baltimore 48-7 or whatever it was. Turn around next week and lose the Jets. It's because they're in the NFL and they're all good. Cleveland should trade for Kirk Cousins. Us Viking fans don't want his ass anymore. Yeah, well, Matt, don't sugarcoat it. Chiefs, Packers, Bengals, Colts, Titans, straight up winners. All cap, points more. No, they're all going to be straight up winners. Just do that in the money line parlay, Dan. Is it Denica or okay, Denica? Chiefs, Packers, Bengals, Colts, Titans. That's a 5-team money line parlay. Pays pretty good. Bet it. Do a money line parlay on them. Forget the points. I don't know, Matt, what Caleb's talking about with Bryce Young. Trent Dilfer, Mayfield. There you go. Cavs play at home against the Grizz on back-to-backs. What? Oliver? This isn't an NBA thread, dude. Memphis playing well. Ja Morant. See his numbers last 3 games. Hello. Cavs walking wounded right now. They got a bunch of guys out tonight. Yeah. Okay. We shall see this week. Maybe I'm wrong. Nick Saban's system make guys look good. Young hit, wide open guys, threw bad balls when coverage was tight. Caleb, let me put it to you this way. If you don't think that Nick Saban, with added prep time to look at that game film and tell Bryce Young what he did wrong with his capability as a head coach, and you think that Alabama's at a disadvantage in this game because of Bryce Young, you're barking up the wrong tree. One friend to another, just so you know. Saban doesn't lose games like this. Just saying. Baker Mayfield been playing hurt. Basically, he was banged up half season. Yeah. I've been saying that. Mayfield's not 100%. That was an injured quarterback last night trying to play football. He's a gamer. He's a tough kid. 100% healthy with the right game plan, especially when you have a running game as good as Cleveland, and why Stepnoski's not using it, I have no idea, like last night. Mayfield's more than effective at a quarterback. Say it. Yeah, quarterback play versus a good defense in that Georgia Alabama. You're going to get the best of the best of the best on both sides of the ball, and to see where they chips fall. Honestly, I'll put a pick out on it, but honestly, there's not a ton of value in that game. Lines are right where they should be. In my opinion, it's a pick 'em ball game. So maybe the points are worth it. Still looking at it. Well, anyway, that's the opening line report this week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Get over to Docs. We got a free $60 for you. This, that, and the other. Go over to Docs and check out all the free stuff we got for you. There's a ton of free stuff for there. And there's 11 other guys on the roster that are good handicappers. Free $60. We got guarantees. I mean, we got live customer service. I know there's a lot of choices out there. There's a lot of other big video channels now, but we got guys giving you good quality content. Let me address these very last comments here. What do I think about LSU versus Kansas State tonight? Daryl, I have a 4-unit play on that. I'm not going to comment. Tune in. Be a good ball game. Last one of the season other than the national title game. Whether it's IC or Scott's Pricer, I hope you do a playoff vid next week. Matt, I'll because you said that, I will email IC today, Indian Cowboy, Arun Shiva, and see what's up. He's got that premium channel, so a lot of the stuff we want to talk about, he's giving away premium content on his premium channel here, which causes him a conflict, especially if guys are giving him a little, $20 a month or whatever. Somebody asked me the other day in a comment on the video, hey, man, are you running any specials for the premium channel for IC? It's $20 a month. You need a discount? I just took the missus through Arby's drive-thru yesterday, and it was $22. And that lasted 10 minutes. He's giving you a whole month for $20. Come on. Give me a break. Don't underestimate Alabama. I'm not underestimating Alabama, and I never underestimate Nick Saban. Thoughts on Rookie of the Year? Chase, yeah. At minus 220. No quarterback. Jones has done fairly good for Patriots. Again, player props and individual player stuff that leans towards fantasy or betting futures on this stuff. I'm not informed enough to give you what I feel is a quality answer. I'm more interested in handicapping games. I just don't go to individuals that often. I'd like to tell you what I think, Ricky. Is he a great player? Yeah. He had a hell of a game against Kansas City, and that's actually not that hard to do at times the way Kansas City's secondary. He just made some phenomenal catches, and Burrow is a great quarterback and made some phenomenal throws. Titans to win the Super Bowl. Number 1 seed, Henry's coming back. Yeah, you're not out of it. You're not out of it. The only thing I said about my Chiefs here, and Tennessee's got their number already once this year. I think they'll get the AFC Championship. I'm not sure they can get over the hump this year. There's just a few. You got to be a perfect ball club to get there. You really do. Kansas City's defense did not. It was playing great until this last weekend. Appreciate you, one of the best cappers out here. Thank you, Oliver. I appreciate it. Daryl, I'm Kings and Lakers. I'm not remotely interested in talking about the NBA. It's an opening line report. Titans choke in the playoffs. It's going to come down. Don't count out the Patriots. Don't count out the Bills. Don't count out Kansas City, and don't count out Tennessee. It's going to be one of those 4. In the NFC, Green Bay, possibly Tampa Bay, but they need some help. They need to get healthy. It's going to come down to those 2. Rams, you can't count Stafford to get there. He's not going to get there. They got great players on that team all over the place. All over the place. McVay's a good coach. And Stafford gets in a big game against an opponent that's got over 500 record. I mean, dude, he sucks. Look, and I know he played for Detroit. But he's even done that when he's been at LA. Thanks, John, for the good. Appreciate it. Ricky, thanks. First Georgia-Bama matchup was a setup. No, what? Dude, it's not set up. Think that was scripted? Nick Saban outcoached Kirby Smart. He coached his ass off. Coached him out of the stadium. Nick Saban's that good. He's a difference maker. And he's not even touching the football. And his offensive staff, he's got 3 guys that were ex-NFL head coaches on it. Come on, dude. Titans or Texans may be an upset. No. 49ers all day. All day? Do you even know who's playing quarterback yet? Calm down on that one. Parlay of Navy, Lipscomb, Seton Hall. Okay, again, this isn't a basketball thread. Bama money line plus 115. There you go. We'll have a live chat about the national title game or what have you. Scott Spicer and I are going to talk about the 8-8 tomorrow. This video is timed out at 55 minutes. I'm going to let you go. Be sure to get over to Doxus every day this week and check out all the offerings we have. We appreciate you tuning in. I did not make a video for LSU Kansas State tonight because it is a bowl pick, 7-3 run in bowls. Hit every top pick we had. Our last pick before the Georgia-Alabama game is a 4-unit play right there at Doc Sports. Miss Denica. Oh, nice avatar. Have a great day. Thank you. Thanks for the opinions and leans. You're welcome. And everyone take care and good luck. Thanks for tuning in.